Hi everyone, I'm Heidi Lindeman. If you are watching this, likely you know a little something about depression or you're curious about depression. So I'm going to talk a little bit about depression, kind of the symptoms, what you might experience in your body or in your emotional field when it comes to depression, and then also how depression can be assigned to help us, is actually they're doing something for us and can be an invitation into a deeper relationship with ourselves. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how therapy could potentially help you with depression. So, if you've experienced the depression, you might have felt this heaviness, a ache in your body, maybe headaches, maybe stomach aches, maybe you feel nauseous. Sometimes it can feel like you have so little energy and it's extremely challenging to do anything. There's a lack of motivation. It's really hard to maybe get out of bed, or maybe it's really hard to motivate yourself to do homework or to do work or to do something that you need to do. Sometimes depression also takes away the things that we liked doing. So maybe if you really enjoyed running or snowboarding or swimming, or maybe you enjoy art or something like that, and then a depression comes in and you just have this lack of even wanting to do the things you really love. Maybe you're sleeping a lot, or maybe you're not sleeping at all. Maybe you're really hungry, or maybe you're not hungry at all. There's just differences that are happening in your body that are off of the normal. That's sometimes what depression can look like. And often it feels like a heavy weight that you just get overwhelmed with and kind of sucked into, and it sometimes feels gross and ugh. You just don't like it. You're just kind of stuck in it. That's sometimes how depression shows up. Or when depressed parts of us take over, that's sometimes what it can feel like. And I truly believe that depression is there for a really good reason, that there's some reason that a depression or a part of you is expressing this depression in the way that it is, and that actually can be an invitation to learn how to deeply love and embrace yourself, and to heal from deep pains or hurts, and to learn to be with yourself in a new way. So that's something that IFS and therapy can do. It can actually help you to realize that your depression is there for a reason, and that there's a way to tenderly care for the depression and to care for yourself when that depression starts creeping in and taking over, that you actually can learn how to be in relationship with the depression, so the depression doesn't have to take over quite as much, and you'll notice it sooner when it does start to come in, and you'll actually learn how to care for yourself in a way that actually meets the needs that you have. So depression showing up is just telling you that you need some rest. You need to slow down. There's some reason that slowing down and kind of going into yourself or not doing much can actually be a really helpful thing. So therapy with me can actually help with that, because I really help you tenderly care for the depression and move towards it in a way that you can actually learn from it and notice where it is in your body and how it settles in with you. And then we can start to learn to externalize it and look at it and really reflect and be curious about, what's this depression doing in your life? When did it start? Where did it come from? How long has it been with you? What feelings are inside the depression? Because depression isn't just sadness. Depression can sometimes be anger. Depression can sometimes be lack of feelings. It sometimes can feel like you don't have any feelings, but too many feelings all at the same time, which may not make logical sense, but in depression, it makes perfect sense, and that's totally normal. So through therapy, you can actually learn how to care for yourself. So instead of the depression having to take over or overwhelming, and maybe you're stuck in it for weeks or months, or maybe it's a low kind of constant right underneath your surface, kind of grinding at you all the time, we can actually learn to have a relationship with it rather than trying to make it go away. Because by making it go away, we don't actually make it go away. Maybe we learn how to push it aside for a little bit, and then it comes back in and it kind of comes at full force. So what I do with you is I help you learn how you can actually take that depression and almost like you give it a big hug, a big embrace, but from a separate place, not from a big hug embrace so that it takes over, but from a big hug embrace of, I so see you and I so love you and I so want to know how I can help you. And through therapy together, we can actually learn what exactly your depression is telling you and what you need. And you can learn how to deeply love yourself in a way that maybe you didn't even think was possible when you felt such heaviness and just didn't like it. And maybe your depression also is bringing up some suicidal parts, and that's okay too. There's a way to learn to love them, that they're actually doing something for you positive as well, that they have a positive intent for you. And I'm not telling you to kill yourself by any means. I'm saying that the suicidal parts might be really trying to help you get out of maybe the depression, that maybe they don't want you to have to be stuck in it. So if you can give them a little bit of love, a little bit of care, you don't have to be stuck in the depression, and you also don't have to kill yourself, that there are other ways through this. And you'll actually learn something very, very deep about yourself. And you'll learn how you actually have this beautiful, amazing capacity to care for the deep, deep hurts that you hold. And it's just wrap yourself in this blanket of love and comfort as you care for your own depression, as you care for that part of you, because it is a part of you. It is not all of you. Your depression is one part, and it's a very important part, telling you something about yourself. And in therapy, we can really explore the depths of the depression and help you transform your relationship with it so that you can learn how to have that compassionate, loving care for your depression, which is very different from trying to make it go away, which I think a lot in our society, we often just try to make it go away. But when we embrace it, it's interesting. When we can embrace the depression, it doesn't have to be so strong. So it fades a little bit, but it actually doesn't, it's not that it goes anywhere. It just doesn't have to be as strong because you actually tenderly care for it. So that's kind of how depression works. And if you're on my website, feel free to fill out my contact form if you'd like to get in contact with me. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, I would love to hear any comments you have. How does depression show up in your life? What has helped you when you're feeling really depressed? Leave comments below if you would like to. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. If you've enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful and you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, because when you subscribe, you'll get the notifications so that you can continue to get videos.